In continuation of our chapter number 6, heat and energy, and today we will discuss about radiation. Till now we have discussed the different modes of the transfer of the heat. What are the three different modes? We have studied about the conduction, we have studied about the convection, and now today we will study about radiation. Okay, in radiation what happens? There is a transfer of the heat energy in the form of rays or waves for which a medium is not required. Now what was happening in conduction? In conduction, the heat energy was passing from the particles to the other particles in solids without the actual movement of the particles due to only their vibration and collision. What was happening in the convection? In convection, it takes place in liquids and gases. In convection, the particles, they were moving and a cycle was getting formed. The warm particles, they go up and the cool particles, they come down to take its place, and in this way the whole water or the whole liquid or the whole gas gets heated up. So there is an actual movement of the particles. But in radiation what happens? The transfer of the heat energy takes place in the form of rays or waves, okay, in which the medium is not required. But one thing very important here is, if there is a medium also in between the source of energy and the thing which is getting heated up, it can get heated up. The waves can transfer the heat energy through that medium also. That means there can be a medium and there cannot be a medium. Both ways the transfer of the heat energy will take place, but it will take place in the form of rays or waves. For example, if you stand outside in the sun, what happens? After sometimes you will start feeling warm, you will start feeling hot, right? Why? Because the heat energy from the sun, which is very far from us, it is not in contact with us. Like we were burning a flame on the liquid, or we were burning a flame and we were keeping the solid near to it. So that flame was very near to that solid, or that flame was coming in contact with that solid or liquid. But here the source of energy, which is sun, is not in contact with us. It is very far away. Still the heat, it is getting transferred from that source and it is reaching to us. How? It is reaching to us in the form of rays or waves through radiation. Okay, now you will say, ma'am, there is air between us, right? We and the sun, and between us there is air. So that's why I told you radiation can take place without the medium also. It can take place, and if the medium is there, then also the radiation will take place. But the source of energy, source of heat is far away from the object which is getting heated up, right? So through air the radiation is taking place. It is coming, the heat waves or the heat rays, they are coming and they are heating us, right? Or any object which is in the sun. Similarly, anything, the water of the oceans, of the seas, of the rivers, it also gets heated up because of the heat energy transmitted by the sun, right? So heat can radiate through air also, it can radiate through water also. So if the medium is there, then also the radiation will take place. If the medium is not there, if it is a vacuum, then also the radiation will take place. I hope this is clear to you. Now, all the hot objects, they radiate heat. Whatever is hot, it will always radiate a heat. When radiation falls on any object, now there is some hot object, and from there the heat is getting transmitted, heat is getting radiated. And when it falls on another object, what happens? Some part of heat is absorbed and remaining is reflected back. Now what is absorbed and how much is absorbed, how much is reflected back, that all depends upon the nature of the surface of that object and its color, right? If it is a dark color object, then they are the good absorbers of heat. They will absorb more heat and reflect less heat back. And if it is a light color object, then light color objects are poor absorbers. That means they will absorb less and they will radiate or they will reflect more. Is that clear? So It all depends upon the nature of the surface also, what kind of surface it is having, and its color also. Now, what are the practical application of radiation? How this radiation takes place in our day-to-day life? How can we make use of radiation? See, we know that sun's energy is used in solar cookers to make food. It is used in solar panels to generate electricity. So we are using that heat energy for all these things. This is a form of radiation only, which we are using in our daily life. Then the dark colors. You know that dark colors, they are the good absorbers of heat. So that's why we use dark color clothes in winters. Why? Because they absorb more heat and they reflect less. So we feel warm in dark colors. And in summers, what happens? We wear light color clothes because light colors, they are the poor absorbers. They will absorb less heat and they will reflect more heat. So in light color clothes, we feel cool. Okay. Now girls, there is one the activity number 4. You will all take out your books. Here, activity number 4. The aim is to understand the heat transfer through radiation. Material required: the candle and the laboratory thermometer. What we will do? Take a laboratory thermometer and observe its initial temperature reading. We will take a thermometer and we will observe what reading it is showing. The initial reading. That will be the initial reading. Now light a candle and bring the thermometer a little closer to the flame. Never directly expose the thermometer to the flame. Never touch it. Do not bring it in the flame, otherwise it will burst. Always keep at a distance from that burning candle. Okay. So what will happen now? Hold the thermometer near the candle but make sure it does not touch the flame. Note the change in the temperature. Observation. The laboratory thermometer shows a change in temperature. The temperature will rise up. It will increase. So what is the conclusion? See, we were not touching it. The flame was not in direct contact with the thermometer. Still, the temperature of the thermometer, it rose up. How? Through the radiation. Radiation means the heat was getting transferred from the flame to the thermometer through rays or the waves. Okay. So as there is no source of heat or any heating, no other source of heat or any other heating by contact, this clearly proves the transfer of heat through radiation. In radiation, just one thing that you have to remember is that the source of light is never in contact with the object. Like sun, it is never in contact with us, okay? Still we feel the warmth of the sun or the heat of the sun because the heat transfers through radiation. Okay? Now we come on the working of the thermos flask. Now you know what is a thermos flask? Thermos flask is a container in which if we keep the warm water, it will remain warm, or hot water, it will remain hot, and if we keep cold water, it will remain cold. Now how does it work? It works, first I'll show you the construction. The construction is, suppose we are having the cap on the top, okay, and we have the outer case which is made up of plastic or it is made up of metal, right? The outer plastic case or a metal case. Then second, what happens is we have inside we have double wall, okay? Double wall container is there inside. The inside you can see there is a double wall container which has a shiny surface. If you see inside the thermos flask, it is always shiny in color, okay? So that is a double wall container. It is having two walls, and in between those two walls there is vacuum. There is no air left between these two walls, okay? Now how does it work? See, it is, first of all, it is made up of plastic, the outer case. So it helps in what is the plastic helps in? Plastic is a bad conductor of heat. It will not allow the heat to pass through it. So definitely it acts as an insulator, preventing the heat loss through conduction. First of all, the outer one is made up of plastic, so it helps in the prevention of the heat loss through conduction. Conduction, why conduction? Because it is a solid thing, so the heat will not go out because this plastic is preventing the heat loss, okay? Second thing is that inside it is a double wall container made up of glass or stainless steel, and both the walls are polished so that they are shiny, okay? The space between the two walls is a vacuum. Now why this vacuum is created here? The vacuum is created here so that it prevents the heat loss through convection. Through convection means the water is here, the warm water is inside it. Okay? So there will be no heat loss of this warm water because there is vacuum over here. Convection will take place in the liquid, but convection needs a medium, right? But there is no medium here. Liquid is inside, there is no medium here, there is vacuum in this double wall between these two. So this heat will get trapped here only. It will not go out because there is no medium here to take it out. Okay. Now, since there are no air particles to carry out the heat transfer of the heat, and the shiny surface of the walls also prevents heat loss through radiation. This shiny surface, we have made it intentionally so that there is no heat loss through the radiation. So this thermal flask, it is working on all the three things. First of all, the outer case is made up of plastic, so there is no heat loss due to conduction, right? Secondly, the vacuum is created between the double wall, so there is no heat loss due to convection. Third, the shiny surfaces are made intentionally so that there is no heat loss due to radiation, right? Radiation can take place, but since there is a vacuum also here, it can take place in vacuum also. But these are shiny surfaces, they are made so that shiny surfaces, they are the, what are they? They are the less poor absorbers of heat. So they will not absorb the heat which is going out from here, right? So they will maintain the heat inside only. So it is working on all the three principles. Through conduction it is preventing, through convection also it is preventing, and through radiation also it is preventing the heat loss. And that's why the temperature of the liquid which is filled inside it remains as it is. If it is cold, it will remain cold. If it is warm or hot, it will remain warm or hot. So with this we come to an end of this chapter. I will send the question answers and the bookwork in the next session.